Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and the inventor of the CTKS method and Borsog trading. If you're new, a very warm welcome. And welcome back, KS family. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth and positive excellence in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our globally extended KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently down 3.17% to 19,472. Ethereum is down 8.21% to 1344. I wanted to let the community know that Jason Rice has very kindly and generously offered 2 masterclass scholarships, 2 partials. This is very, very kind of Jason. Also, Purpuratum and Tails have also done partial scholarships. If you're interested in the CTKS partial masterclass scholarship, the link for the application is in the description of this video. The CryptoTradingKS Masterclass is a premium Rolls-Royce level masterclass on crypto technical analysis using the CTKS method. I invented the CTKS method as a method of technical analysis specifically for crypto that accounts for the exponential implosions and explosions in price and updates normal stock market and forex technical analysis. I think it's really important to understand why people put things together. If you come across to the testimonials page on cryptotechnicalanalysis.org, you'll see exactly why I put the masterclass together. And you can also see that there are a lot of testimonials here. Many people have found great value inside the masterclass, and I'm sure you will too. And thank you again to the very kind community members who've tried to help and assist other people who are not so fortunate. Just beautiful. As crypto technical analysts, we analyze the market from smart money perspectives. And we know Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. This week is a really huge week economically. The FOMC will have their meeting. That's in a little over 2 days' time, and there's an 82% probability that we'll get a 75 basis point increase. And if we look forward into the future for about a year's time, we expect the federal funds rate to be around 4.25% to 4.5%. We expect incredibly high volatility in the coming year, so being a trader or developing your trading skills is going to be incredibly important. I invented the CTKS method to help people understand where smart money buy and sell levels are inside any market, crypto, forex, and the stock market. These horizontal lines here you see on the US dollar currency index or the DXY or the DXY are smart money sell levels if they're above price and smart money buy levels if they're below price. These lines are actually formed from all of price history, not recent price history alone. These lines are very special levels. They're called Stanfield levels because they identify market structure. When looking at the DXY, we can see it's under a key level of market structural resistance at 110.048. The 2 key levels for you to watch is this 108.859 support level and the 110.048 resistance level. The dollar also has structural significance for the main market indices such as the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, the Russell 2000 and the Dow Jones, and they also have a lot of significance for crypto. Have a look at Bitcoin, and this is the Nasdaq in white. You can see the inverse relationship playing out between the DXY and these majors. If you hear of the dollar rallying, you can expect Bitcoin and the stock markets to be falling. And if the dollar actually decreases, you can expect exactly the opposite. Bitcoin and the main markets, the stock markets, to rally, as well as gold. We're getting towards key structural levels, so you must always do your risk management. You remember, you control your portfolio and every individual trade and every individual investment, but the market controls the return. The market doesn't know you, so what you have to do, think about what you will do if price goes against you, goes nowhere, or goes for you, and consider the going for you last. Trading is a definite skill. It's not gambling at all. The market rewards you for your knowledge and for your emotional control. And the one thing that we do each and every day is we put our Borsog codes in. The more synchronized you can become with the market, the more the market will reward you. The first thing to consider, is the market going down, going flat, or going up? That's a D, F, and U. Just that becomes the first letter. And then how do you think the market will move in respect to your trades and your entire portfolio? What are the probabilities of going against, going flat, or going neutral, or going for you? And how synchronized in with the market do you feel? Active learning is part of what we do each and every day inside our community. The market rewards this active learning, because you're getting a perspective on what the markets could potentially do. Instead of saying, I'm not sure what they'll do, you actually put a line in the sand and start to analyze much, much more deeply. That's why the market will reward you for your level of knowledge. Well done, family. This is what it's all about. Even though the US markets are closed, the futures are open. And what we see here with the VIX, the volatility gauge of the stock market, or the fear index, fear has been steadily increasing. It may spike up. If it spikes up, we would expect a dramatic fall in price, but we're not getting that. If we look at the futures from the NASDAQ 100, we're seeing them just stabilizing at the moment. And having a look at bond prices, they're stabilizing as well. Bond yields are stabilizing. We've had a slight kick up in gold and a slight push down in the dollar. We saw that a little bit earlier. And when we look at oil, oil is still under resistance, but could be bottoming out here. When we look at junk bonds, which is a very risk-on metric, there is definite risk off here at the moment. And Masterclass students, you get my live chart in TM6 as well as a very deep explanation. One of the most difficult things that you'll ever find when it comes to crypto technical analysis is to understand where to draw support and resistance levels in. And when we look at the NASDAQ Composite Index, the NASDAQ 100, looking through the CTKS method, we can see we're pretty much at a key level of resistance now. We have a degree of support below, then we have a large gap and support down around the 10,272 mark to 10,220. When we have a big gap in the market, that means basically the price can fall through that gap because there's nothing there to keep it from falling. But the same goes from the other dimension. If we get above levels of resistance and turn them to support, and we've got a large gap, that means there's nothing much to resist price. So it's likely that we will bounce from a one level to a higher level. Now, just keep that in mind, because there's a lot of things happening this week that could pull the rug out from the main markets and therefore crypto. This blue line here is Bitcoin's price action relative to the NASDAQ. You can see just how much the NASDAQ's gravity impacts on Bitcoin. Really important to be aware of this. Also looking at the S&P 500, we've seen a bounce through this no man's land. You can see how it just dropped. It absolutely plummeted from here all the way down to here. It sensed this smart money buy level, and the buyers came in and bought and pushed it up. But there is very, very little here for price to actually consolidate around. Stanfield levels give you market structure inside the market. They're very, very powerful. We can see in the last session, the SPX traded at 38.73 and 32. We have degrees of support below it and a lot around the 3628 to the 3644 mark. But if we lose that, we're going down. So we need to be careful on how we manage our portfolios. It's going to be a very, very turbulent time within the next year. And you can see from the upward dimension, we have a lot of resistance playing out. Resistance means it's harder for price to get through it. You can see this resistance at the 39.64 mark was resisted, push back, finally broke, and that pushed it through that gap down to the 38.36 mark. These are smart money buy and sell levels, and they reset each and every day. We look at the main market because we know Rule 45 is very, very important. Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity, but no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity either. You've seen that in full force over the past trading session. When Bitcoin comes down, all of the alts will come down, disproportionately so. Some will temporarily escape Bitcoin's gravity, but it's always a temporary phenomenon. It's not a permanent one. For example, when you see Bitcoin coming down, it dragged Ethereum down with it. It dragged BNB down with it. It dragged ADA down with it. Remember how incredibly well XRP was going. But look at what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin is so bad. When it comes down, it just pulls everything with it. And even though we're registering a positive momentum in XRP's price relative to a time frame that would give a positive, say a weekly, the concept is Bitcoin still controls and still dominates the alts. It's just the way it goes. And you can see Solana coming down, Doge coming down, DOT coming down, and Matic coming down. Ethereum is currently trading at 1333, a resistance above at 1345. This is a Stanfield level, which means it's a long-term structural resistance level, and we're very close to turning it into support. Hopefully we'll do so. You can see the Bitcoin gravitational alignment between Bitcoin and Ethereum. It always plays out. We must bear this in mind. And max pain for Ethereum is 1400. Looking at the Stanfield levels for Binance Coin, BNB, we can see BNB currently trading at 266.50. It has a resistance line above at 267.20, so it's very close to resistance, but we've got a bit of a gap here. If we actually lose the current support around this 267 level, we'll be heading for 251. And if we lose that, we're heading down to 242. We can also note that when we look above BNB's current price, there's very, very heavy resistance playing in at around the 295 mark. Now that we've looked at the alts, we need to gain an appreciation for what Bitcoin is actually doing. We can see Bitcoin is below multiple levels of resistance. It's currently at 19,436. It's getting really, really close to the Armageddon line at 18,942. That Armageddon line is exactly how it suggests it sounds. It's an Armageddon line. If it crosses through that, we could see a very steep sell-off. We're just marginally above it at the moment. We're only about 2.5% away from that Armageddon line. That means this is a point of structural uncertainty. And what do we do with structural uncertainty? We risk off. And when it comes to Borsog trading, you may want to hold your trades just for a very short period of time. And you can always think there's two ways to make money. You can actively make profit, or you can sit out a potential loss. One thing to bear in mind, when people first get into trading and investing in Zone 1 and Zone 2, they think that they have to be fully invested at all times and participating each and every day. When you become a veteran trader and investor going into Zone 3 and Zone 4, you realize there's times where it's better to sit on cash. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, people want to catch every high, and that's just not possible. People who last in the trading and investing areas are people who just ride the sweet spot. Things will become clearer. You don't have to always actively participate each and every day. And around times of structural uncertainty, you don't want to go into Zone 1 and Zone 2. One thing that we did witness yesterday in yesterday's trading, price basically came down to that max pain level of 19,500. That's something we put on the radar yesterday. Max pain today is actually 20,000. So we could see a bit of a uptick in Bitcoin's price, and if Bitcoin goes up, so too do the alts move. But again, you have to be a little bit cautious. This is not actually the best time in the market to be fully invested. But of course, only you can make that decision. Only you can buy and only you can sell. What I've also done here is to put on those two key dates from the article I showed in the introduction. The Vasil hard fork for ADA, the upgrade, is happening on the 22nd, and on the 27th it goes live. That could be really interesting for ADA. And you might remember recently, ADA was quite weak and it's becoming stronger. Surprise, surprise. We just have to keep in mind what the main markets will do. And Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve, could have something to say about how markets actually move. When you're first getting started, I would urge you to just use Borsog trading, because Borsog is a trading and investing market synchronization technique where you start with really small position sizes, literally coffee money. What you're trying to do is to synchronize in with the market, and then when you're synchronized, you scale up. If you find you're desynchronizing, price isn't moving in the direction that you want it to move, just descale. This teaches you so many incredible, powerful techniques. To Borsog effectively, you'll need all the understanding of the CTKS Masterclass. And in the LV section, the living video section of the Masterclass, there's so many lessons in here that will help you tremendously. To Borsog correctly, having a look at the longs and the shorts can also give us a bit of an idea as to where Bitcoin could go. We can see the shorts coming out of the market, but the longs getting liquidated more so. Let's have a look at liquidations. There's been a massive number of liquidations, around 98,958 positions, and a total of 264.22 million in 24-hour liquidations. This is really big for a weekend trading session. They're generally around the 20 to 40 mark. Looking at total liquidations across the past 24 hours, we can see around 85% have been long. What about the past 12 hours? About 87% long. Past 4 hours, 89% long. Oh, the poor old longs are getting whacked. 75% long in the past hour. So we can see that the longs have been coming out of the market because they've been severely hit, and we're witnessing the aftermath of that, which is decreased prices. The question then becomes, is there more pain to come? From a technical perspective, we've violated this upward support level. We've crossed through it pretty much majorly. We've got another support level at around 19,105, which is this just recent structural resistance line. But if we start to fall under the Armageddon line, you know what's happening. When you get into the Armageddon line, it's not a really good thing. The name probably gives you some kind of hint as to what's coming. Does this mean it's all over and crypto is just going to melt? No, of course not. Price is always moving in a wave, and what we've seen on many Fed announcements is that actually the markets do rally, and I think that's all because the institutions are liquidating short positions. They're making them cover. That in turn causes prices to spike up unsustainably. Over the past 24 hours, we've seen global crypto market cap decrease by 4.55% to $929.51 billion. It's been a pretty sharp sell-off. As you can see, the top gainers in the top 100. The best one is Chile's, up 2.24%, and then there are stable coins. The greatest losers in the top 100, Raven Coin down 14.18%, Ethereum Classic 13.44% down, Curve 13.22% down, EOS 12.9% down, Celsius 11.5% down. We've seen derivative trading volumes quite light. And there's substantial negative momentum on Ethereum's price. You can see just how big the differential is between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when we look at how the other perpetuals are going, BNX and Chiliz have upward momentum. But going the other way, KNC, OP, Trouble, Unfi, C98, DYDX, Injective, Gala, Raven, they're all under a lot of positive excellence. Is how we live as a community, because that is the basis of sustainable fulfillment, meaning, happiness, and success. It's also the way to fight anxiety, depression, and most of all, fear. In yesterday's episode, I just asked the community to pop in some of the positive affirmations that they like or they live by. There were some really incredible affirmations. What an amazing, magnificent global family we have. I'd like to thank each and every community member, family member who wrote their thoughts down. As we're getting a little short on time, I'll read these ones out tomorrow. So that gives you another little bit of time if you would like to pop something in as well. If you have friends or family who could benefit from positive excellence and what we do each and every day on the channel, please introduce them to our community by sharing a video. We'd love to see them here. We have one of the best communities on YouTube. And well done to our first scholarship awardee, Tiana. Well done, my friend. Combating Zone 1 and Zone 2 fear is incredibly important, so we have the CTKS Creed, a series of positive affirmations that you can say to yourself to prime your mind for profitability in the crypto market. I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities in life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with Borsog. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. And if you're currently going through a life pullback, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone, and the sun will come out again. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. And never blaming is really important because we're all about learning. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.